I think we gotta talk about the absolute BS that was this Jujutsu Kaisen episode, because I'm pretty sure it was only 5 minutes long, and I was expecting a full-length episode, but god dang, man, like this, there's so many moments that are worthy of being the main talking point. I mean, you start the episode off with him panting, and I'm looking around like, what did he do? We better see what he did. And Infinite Speed Gojo, just how quickly, and they dropped the number, it was like 1,000 that he ended up like dealing with. I'm just like, human Beyblade cutting through these fools. And just, I mean, that moment when he splatters, I mean, I'm thinking, okay, it's brutal enough when you're ripping out roots from eyes. It's a whole other ballpark when basically Buddy's trying to threaten like, hey Gojo, I'm gonna hurt the humans. And he ain't even given a rat's furry ass. He's like, listen, I'm gonna blow up your friend. Next, you're next. Holy hell. But then they even drop the Geto reveal, the biggest thing that I've been anticipating this season, because we know in Jujutsu Kaisen 0, Geto gets killed, and that's not a fake out. It was guaranteed that he was dead, yet somehow, over the course of season 1, we had Geto in this show, and the idea of what they went for with this gross brain situation where he gets to use this body, but it is a completely different person. That's basically this episode. Just easily my favorite episode of this season, without a single doubt in my mind, and I need more. Now, I do have a full live reaction to episode 9 of season 2, that Jujutsu Kaisen Greatness, available on my Patreon, so if you would like to see that, it's over there if you're interested. I mean, first things first, I do want to talk about the Geto stuff. Everyone's going to be hyping up the crazy action, and we will talk about that, but the Geto thing for me is the thing I was most anticipating, and I wasn't expecting it this episode, because building up, Geto seemed pretty confident, even after everything that was happening. The whole plan was basically to overwhelm, and they even make a mention in this episode how, Gojo's very different to Yuji, because ultimately, he's very logical. He has this cold logic of understanding he can't save everyone here, so at the end of the day, he recognizes there will be casualties, where someone like Yuji would, probably freak out and try to save everyone here, and in doing so probably catch himself in a situation that might kill him or others. And the idea that pretty much like the shock in their eyes say it all, like when the void happens, and I'm like, oh man, that's just so cool. But the fact that at no point did he feel overwhelmed, like everything, like the fact that he can think of so much, like it felt like a lifetime's worth of memories went on in just a fraction, like 0.2 of a second, and he was able to stay cool, calm, and collected. So what the hell was this man gonna do to shake him? Well, ultimately, we see exactly that. He pops up, and I love how you can see the difference between this entire episode. At no point did it feel like Gojo was shook, or, like you could tell he's probably not happy seeing all the bloodshed, and it was a massacre. Like, they were cutting fools in half, and it was brutality. Like, it didn't feel like it was censored or punches were being pulled. It was disturbing, and it felt like he was able to keep cool, calm, and collected. But the moment he recognizes the presence, what the hell? I killed him. Is this a fake? Is this an imposter? Like, is this a situation where someone's just trying to look like him? No. Everything about him was 100% Geto, but the soul was not. And honestly, it just took just a second. As soon as that wall dropped, we see he gets sealed. They end this episode with him being sealed and the reveal of what happened with the body, and holy hell, I mean, I guess they kind of had to do this in a way, because with what we just saw, I mean, maybe you do have to nerf Gojo and kind of take him away from the arc for a bit, because otherwise, Yuji probably wouldn't have had a whole lot to do this arc, if I'm being honest. And that was one hell of a reveal, and I think it's been years in the making, right? We've been building into this, and between season 1, between Jujutsu Kaisen 0, and now season 2, it just feels like this was just like, oh, it was right in front of us the whole time, the scar on the head, everything. It just was so well done. And seriously though, Gojo, he built different, like 100%. The initial brutality of ripping someone's like eyes out and just, it was so nasty. But I love the fact that at every step of the way, like whether it's trying to threaten with the humans or just obliterate, like Mahito when he comes in, he's basically just kind of chilling, he's doing his thing, he's like, wait a second, dead? Huh, it's just like, they can't rationalize because they just assume like, oh yeah, the plan's seemingly going according to plan. It's like, no, it's not. But the idea of the train coming in and basically just everyone being just rushed by these monstrosities, it is just, it's crazy, because a lot of the times they're not knowing what the hell's going on. There's just this crazy man and there's blood everywhere because they're not seeing things, and then just when shit does hit the fan, it's hard not to get excited, terrified, and just speechless or just screaming like a kid because of just the insanity that we're witnessing. Like, the animation was clean, the impactful punches, and I just love how much of a badass he is. Like, he'll just be standing there, not showing a single sign of emotion. And you know he's not like him just looking around being like, oh yeah, cool, all these humans are dying. But he's logical, and as I say, he has cold logic because he knows, like, these fools, they need to be put down. And I love the fact that it's entirely possible, had Geto not popped up there, right? Even though when the box thing kind of happened, that did definitely shake him, but at the same time, it's the moment when Geto pops up that really makes him drop his guard. And had that not happened, I really think they all would have been wiped out here, because Gojo, despite being winded, I mean, that was Sonic the Hedgehog level Beyblade chaos, and it did take a lot out of him, but at the same time, we can just see how, you know, he's the strongest sorcerer for a reason, right? And, you know, you have to nerf that if you want an arc to last more than a couple of episodes. Like, they summoned him, and they were confident. I said it last week, like, okay, you know, they're building in like they're about to trap him, but it's Gojo, right? Like, Gojo's gonna get out of that one, and boy golly, did they seemingly get him there. And now it seems like we're probably gonna have to shift over to Yuji and the gang, because things ain't looking good for Gojo right now. And man, they just had such good directing. The music when it was kicking in, the voice acting, whether it was panting and like huffing and puffing because of just being winded from everything, to just the sound effects of the brutality. It wasn't even just simply seeing all the blood on screen, it was just hearing the, like, almost like a saw blade going through people, whether from headshots to ripping torsos in half. It was savage, and man, easily my favorite episode, which I didn't expect to say too soon, because I really liked the first arc we got this season, especially with some of those shocking moments. But as a Gojo enthusiast, this episode, and you know, my biggest thing that I've been anticipating was the reveal of what the hell happened to Geto. Was he revived? In this case, did someone take over? There was a big mystery there, and I wanted to see that, and they not only delivered on the fan service badassery of Gojo, they seemingly stumped him for the time being, and they also clarified Geto. How am I not supposed to say this is like my favorite episode of the season and one of my favorite episodes I've seen in the show? I'd be insane not to say that. I think this will definitely be an episode that many people are going to be rewatching and talking about for days to come. This was one of the best episodes of the series, hands down, and man, ooh, I thought he had him. I really did, even when he was initially shook, but god damn it, Geto, he pulled it through. He's like, you know what? Maybe I shouldn't doubt the baddies 100% as much, but it's hard not to when they're trying to threaten and pull out their big dick energy and Gojo's just slapping them like they're nothing. But great episodes. Thoughts down below yourself, whether if you're a manga reader or anime original like myself. Let me know what you're feeling down below. Leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new around here, of course, ring that bell so you can get notified when I upload more videos to the channel. And like I mentioned, we do have a full live reaction to today's hype episode available on my Patreon. And hey, while you're there, you also get a video shout out like Sarnik, Selkie, Shadowclaw458, Shadow Cyber Demon, Sheriff Yosef, and Shisa are getting today. So I appreciate the support, everyone. Please take care and have a good one.